estimates of nearly 50 million people being held in some form of modern-day slavery.
Data is really important in finding patterns for traffickers.
Using the Intel SGX technology, data can be analysed to help the individuals.
Okay, hey family, it's Ray, and I'm back with another word. I pray that you guys have been blessed. So I do have another word for y'all to the Lord. This is a kingdom marriage word, a kingdom spouse word. So go ahead and take this word to the Lord for confirmation. I pray that this word blesses you guys and uplifts your spirits. For those who this word is word, this should be confirmation, specifically for those who are in your marriage season, and the Lord has been talking to you about preparation and being prepared. So this word comes from a dream that the Lord gave me on August 17th of this year. I'm going to go ahead and get into the dream, and I'll get into the message. Okay, so as I said, I had this dream on August 17th, 2023. So I woke up from a nap around noon, and the dream started off as me grabbing my suitcases, and I remember I was going on this journey. I was walking up the sidewalk. I remember encountering a young white man looking around my age, and he offered to help. He carried one suitcase and I carried the other. Once we began to walk around like the curve of the sidewalk, I noticed that he seemed to lose his balance. He would lean to the side as we walked. This caused us to fall off the side into a little creek that was below, because when he would begin to lean, he was leaning on me, then made me lose my balance and push me off the side. Then we got back on the path again. I noticed him leaning again, so we fell off again, but I landed on a bed of grass and my suitcases landed on a large rock, so they didn't fall into the water. The grass was right beneath the edge of the sidewalk, so I was high enough to pull myself back up instead of starting all the way over from the bottom. This time it was just me alone walking with both suitcases and was making my way up the sidewalk. So at this point I'd already gotten past the curve. Now the sidewalk was maybe one more curve, and then the rest of it was just straight. So I was walking alone. Now it goes to a new scene where I'm in a room. I have my suitcase on the bed, and I noticed that I was setting up shoes by pairs, and there were heels around the side of the bed on the floor. My sister, my twin, was with me in this scene, and she was unpacking too. I noticed one of her flip-flops were laying on top of my pairs of shoes that were still in the bed, so I handed it to her. After I was done unpacking, I walked around the bed and was straightening the comforter, pulling the sides down and making sure it was neat, straight, without lumps or wrinkles. I also evened it to where it wasn't too long on one side and shorter on the other, so it fell evenly across the bed. My other sister called on FaceTime and was saying she has a surprise, and so she was trying to make sure that we looked presentable for whoever it was that she was about to show us. So I remember I had my hair wrapped and I had a blue Velcro head wrap on. It was royal blue, and I had on a sports bra. I was in the middle of getting ready to get dressed, and I guess I was going somewhere when she called. So my twin sister held the phone and stood in front of me so that both of our faces were showing and could see the FaceTime. But I noticed how she stood in front of me like she was hiding my body behind her because I wasn't fully dressed. So when my other sister called and she was telling us she was emphasizing our hair, like make sure your hair is done. Like I said in the dream, my hair was wrapped up with a Velcro head wrap on. Make sure your hair is done. And I think my sister's hair, you could tell that she was starting to do her hair, like she was starting braids her hair, but it wasn't finished. So like the front of her hair was braided, but the back wasn't finished. And then she also was saying to make sure that we were dressed, so make sure that we looked presentable. And so that's why my twin sister stood in front of me. Like I said, I only had on a sports bra because I was in the middle of getting dressed. I was in the middle, and I guess that's also maybe why my hair was wrapped, but I was in the middle of getting dressed, and so she stood in front of me. Yeah, my sister called with a surprise, and it was someone who I hadn't seen in a long time. That was the dream. Okay, and so certain things that stood out to me in the dream that Lord highlighted to me was that boy in the beginning of the dream, that he was white. So this could be interracial relationships and unions, but that's not who my spouse is. So after the Lord gave me, when he first was giving me the breakdown of it, that's the last thing that I was like waiting on, because I was really like, okay, why was it that person and not like my spouse? Why, you know what I'm saying? So him. So this man represented your helpmate, okay? And it's indicative that this is a word for someone or multiple people. We are in another season of unions coming together. And so your helpmate, okay? So he was helping me. He offered to help me with my suitcases. He was carrying one and I carried the other as we began this journey. So also indicating this journey, your kingdom marriage journey, this journey that you have been on. And in this dream, I said, as we both were walking, and then it came to a curve. And every time we got to the curve, both times that we got to the curve, he began to tilt over and lean on me. And so he was highlighting to me the imbalance. Once we fell the second time, I got back up and I'm just on this journey by myself. I'm on the walk by myself, so the journey alone. So first of all, traveling, suitcases indicates traveling. This not crazy, I need to use that word, but I'm gonna put this picture in here because a couple of days ago I saw this car, and I saw this specific car with the specific license plate April 8th or April 10th. I saw this car 2 different times within the same week. This car specifically around the city in 2 different locations, and the license plate says travel to you. I just saw this car now back in April. I just saw this car. And so because before, when I saw before, I was like on the highway and I think I was somewhere else, so I couldn't take a picture. I took a picture this time and it says travel to you. So then back to this dream. Now he was speaking to me about travel. So travel is indicative of a journey, indicative of over a long period of time or a long distance. So it's a journey. So again, back to the suitcases. So this is your kingdom spiritual journey, the path that you have been on. In the beginning, when we started in this dream, when we started on this path, we were together. So some of you may have met your spouse already. There's been a separation. There was some type of imbalance along the way, and the Lord needed, that's the point of the separation, was in order for the Lord to work on you individually, in order for the Lord to work on your spouse individually. So whoever the standard is, that's why when it came to the curve, that highlighted the imbalance. So every time that we started to go across the curve, he started to tilt this way, and then he would lean on me and make me lose my balance, so we both would fall off the path. So there's some things that the Lord needed to clean and cleanse out of the both of you, and before we get to really be strong in this walk for the union and standing for this union, we had to submit ourselves and return to Christ, be fully submitted to Christ first. And so for whoever the standard is, that's what you've done, and that's why you've been able to maintain this walk on your own, in a sense, like not give up. Basically, you kind of maintain this walk while you've been in separation, while the Lord has been working on this person. Even though yes, he's still working on us too as standards, but while the Lord's working on his spouse, he's still been using you to stand for this union, for this man or woman, for this connection overall, for this promise. So there was an imbalance. So when you guys were together before, maybe been together and you went to a separation, come together and go into a separation, stuff like that, and there was an imbalance. So you guys were not equally yoked. Whoever was started on this journey first, you were more advanced in a sense, you're stronger in this walk, but this person, they may have still had one foot in the world, and you guys were unequally yoked. That's what separation was about. And so that's why when he leaned on her, she also fell off balance. May have even experienced that, like you on this walk, and then when you come together, maybe some things pulled you back down or tempted you to, and the Lord is showing that is not his will for these unions. So there needs to be a separation to take place, so that while you carried on this journey, while you carried on your own journey with the Lord individually, the Lord also was working on your spouse, so that when he did place you back together, this person was able to stand on their own. This person was able to carry their weight, so that when you came together, you guys would be equally yoked, so there was no imbalance, and so that you could be each other's helpmate, and not one person leaning on the other, but that you could both equally balance and add to, contribute to each other's strength on this walk, each other's well-being, love, giving just as much as you're receiving. So then that's where we get to me landing on the grass. I know to pull myself back up and keep on the path, now carrying both my suitcases alone. And then now go to the new scene where I'm in this room unpacking. And so it was twins, like with my twin being there, the 2 pairs of shoes, the twin size bed. And so it was screaming twos, it was screaming pairs, it was screaming, so 2 was union. Yeah, pairs, union, 2 by 2. The next was the FaceTime call. That was a surprise call where whoever was on the other end of the call was someone who I had not seen in a long time. That's what made it a surprise, and it came unexpectedly. I had my hair wrapped and I had on like a sports bra, so I didn't have on a full outfit or nothing like that. But even as my sister is calling me, very, very adamant and sternly telling me, look presentable, make sure you have clothes on, make sure you have something nice on. And she was very particular too about make sure your hair is done. She was trying to get us ready. As she's walking to the person, she was trying to make sure that we look presentable for this surprise, basically. So for those who this is your season of coming into union with a spouse, whether you are meeting your spouse for the first time or this is a reconciliation, the Lord is using this dream to let you know that you need to be prepared. However it is that you are going to encounter your spouse, be it in person, maybe you run into them out somewhere, be it a FaceTime call and they just randomly call you, make sure that you're prepared, because this is the season, is for who this word is for you to come into union, coming back together, coming into union with your spouse. The Lord is bringing the two of you together, and it's also going to be a surprise. So when my sister called me, the person who she was going to show me was the surprise. That's why she was emphasizing, well, the message is to emphasize, make sure that you're prepared, make sure that you're ready, make sure that you're ready not only physically, but however he's telling you to prepare, be it pack your bags, be it making sure that you have space in your home. I don't know. Take it back to him. But yes, physically too, she was really emphasizing my hair and my clothes, my outfit. Because in the dream I was in the process of getting ready, you would know. That's why I say this word would be confirmation to you. You would know, because you are already in your season, and the Lord has really already been speaking to you as you've been preparing to be ready, to be prepared for this. But it's going to be a surprise when you come into union, or when you encounter your spouse. It's going to be a surprise. So he's wanting you to make sure that you are prepared, stay ready. So you gotta get ready. Like, make sure you're prepared, make sure that you look presentable, because you don't know when that time is going to come. You don't know when that moment is going to come. You don't know when that phone is going to ring. You don't know when that, even if it's not a FaceTime call right then and there, it's like, what if they call you today and you don't even got your hair done, you don't got an outfit? Like, what if they call you to plan a date, to plan to meet up in person? You know what I'm saying? So this encounter or this communication is going to come unexpectedly, and the Lord is telling you to be prepared in every way. So take his word to him, and make sure that he's showing you and he's leading you on what exactly it is, how he wants you to be prepared, what he's telling you, what areas that he's telling you to focus on preparing. It could be so many different areas. So just make sure that you take this word back to the Lord. If this word is resonating with you, make sure that you bring this back to the Lord so that he can confirm to you individually and direct you on this journey and how he's using this word to speak to you. So the scriptures, so the first scripture I'm going to share is Genesis 2 verse 18, and it says, "Now the Lord God said, it is not good for a man to be alone. I will make him a helper, one who balances him, a counterpart who is suitable and complementary for him." That's Genesis 2:18. Verse 11 is Isaiah 61:7. It says, "Instead of your former shame, you will have a double portion. And instead of humiliation, your people will shout for joy over their portion. Therefore, in their land, they will possess double what they had forfeited. Everlasting joy will be theirs." So there will be joy. You will have a double. I don't care what you went through in your past, whether it's with this person, whether it's in past relationships, some of the shame, some of the pain that you've been through. God is saying, in this union, this love, who I have for you, I am blessing you with double. I'm giving you double portion for your shame. Instead of humiliation, your people will shout for joy over their portion. So you will shout for joy over this union, over this love, over this spouse. Therefore, in their land, they will possess double what they had forfeited. Everlasting joy will be theirs. These scriptures will be in the description box, so check that out and meditate on these. Let the Lord speak to you further concerning this word. Test the spirit of this word as well. Share this word with anyone who you feel needs to hear it. Don't forget to like, comment, and also subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified of any future uploads when I post, and I'll be back soon with another word.
Here's to the people who work with their hands, the ones who aren't afraid